Imagine a world where the mightiest and the meekest forge an unbreakable bond. This is the tale of an unlikely friendship that would change the African savanna forever. The sky above the African plains glowed pale orange as the sun began its slow descent. Dawn, in a patch of dry woodland, where thorn trees grew twisted and acacias stretched crooked branches, a quiet tragedy unfolded. Under one such acacia lay a female dog, her coat once bright white, but now dulled with dust. She had been searching for food for her two pups when a heavy branch, weakened by termites and the storm of the previous night, had cracked and fallen across her body. The thick limb pressed across her ribs, pinning her against the earth. She tried to wriggle free, teeth gnashing in effort, claws scraping soil. Pain seared through her side.
Ow.
With a broken whimper, she collapsed. Nearby, her two pups' small, snow-white bundles, no bigger than jackal cubs, circled in panic. Their names, though no human had ever given them, might as well have been Luma and Nori. For one was brighter in spirit, always charging ahead, while the other clung close, timid and soft-eyed. They pawed at the branch, nipped at bark, pulled with all the might of their tiny jaws, but the limb was far too heavy. Their mother licked them weakly, urging them away, but they refused. For hours they whined, noses pressed to her fur. Hunger gnawed at their bellies. Fear curled around their hearts. As twilight deepened, a low rumble trembled through the ground. At first the pups froze, ears perked. From between the thorn bushes, a hulking silhouette appeared. A black rhinoceros. Massive body armored in thick folds of skin, horn curving like a dagger toward the sky. His name, known only to the earth and winds, was Baroko Blessing. The pups yipped in alarm, then in sudden inspiration. Luma darted forward, barking shrill and urgent, tail wagging not in play but in desperate plea. Nori followed, hesitant, but his cries rose too, high-pitched and piercing. They circled Baraka's legs, ran ahead, then back toward their mother, voices weaving a frantic pattern of sound. Baraka snorted, ears swiveling. He had roamed these woods for decades, wary of poachers, wary of drought. He was used to silence, not this cacophony of tiny voices. He stomped once, the earth shuddering. The pups didn't run. Instead, they dashed again, toward the trapped dog, pausing to look back, whimpering insistently. Something in their persistence stirred him. He lumbered after them, his massive body casting shadows long across the grass. When he reached the acacia, he saw the mother, chest rising shallowly beneath the cruel weight of the fallen branch. Her eyes, dim with pain, flicked toward him. No fear, no snarl, only resignation. Baraka huffed, lowering his head. The pups danced around him, yipping louder, urging. With surprising gentleness, he nudged the branch with his horn. It didn't budge, grunted, shifted position, planted his feet. Muscles rippled under hide. With a powerful heave of his neck, the branch groaned and cracked. Another chevaude, it rolled free, tumbling into the dust. The mother gasped, sides heaving as air filled her lungs again. The pups leapt onto her, licking her face, tails wagging furiously. Baraka stepped back, his horns smeared with bark. For a moment, the clearing was still. The great rhino and the fragile family of dogs regarded one another in silence. The mother tried to stand, but faltered, leg injured. She whimpered softly, nudging her pups close. Baraka snorted again, then slowly turned. But as he lumbered away, the pups barked once more, not in panic now, but in thanks. He paused, glanced back with one dark, ancient eye, then melted into the thorn thicket. In the days that followed, the mother dog regained her strength slowly. She limped, but with the pups' help she scavenged scraps, found water in hollows left by rain. Sometimes when the wind shifted, the ground would tremble faintly, and she would raise her head. From afar, Baraka still roamed. The pups never forgot. Whenever they caught his scent, they bounded to a hillock, tails wagging, watching the colossal figure move across the horizon. Once, when a jackal prowled too close, Baraka's shadow loomed, his snort scattering the predator. The pups yipped joyously as if greeting an old guardian. Seasons turned, grass greened, then browned again. The pups grew taller, leaner, their coats gleaming under the sun. Their mother, though still scarred, walked with her head high. In the heart of the savannah, survival was a daily battle, but they had learned something precious. Even the strongest and the smallest could share a bond, unspoken yet enduring. One evening, as the sun bled crimson over the plains, a new danger arrived. A group of men poachers crept through the thickets, rifles slung, eyes set on horn. The pups barked furiously, warning cries splitting the dusk. Their mother growled, trying to drive them back. Baraka heard. From across the scrub, his ears caught the sound. He charged. The ground thundered beneath his hooves as he burst from the brush. The poachers cursed, scrambling. One fired a shot that went wide, another tripped. Baraka's horn gored the earth inches from their boots, his bellow shaking the trees. The men fled into the darkness, hearts pounding with terror. In the silence that followed, Baraka stood tall, nostrils flaring, eyes scanning until he was certain the danger had gone. The pups ran to him, yipping wildly, tails wagging in frantic relief. Their mother dragged herself close enough to lift her head in acknowledgement, a quiet thank you only he could hear. Baraka exhaled, deep and long, then turned once more toward the horizon. The pups chased him a few steps before stopping, watching until the night swallowed his massive shape. Years later, travelers through that region sometimes spoke of a strange sight: a pair of white dogs, and their older mother following at a respectful distance behind a solitary black rhino. Not close enough to be called companions, yet never far enough to be strangers. Some said it was a myth, a story for children about unlikely friendship. But those who had heard the high-pitched barks at dusk, followed by the distant rumble of hooves, knew better. Because once 2 tiny pups had begged a giant to save their mother, and the giant had listened. And that, in the wild heart of Africa, was enough to weave a bond that no branch, no snare, no bullet could ever break.